The limbic system was described by Broca for the first time in 1878 as grand lobe limbic. It is a system that helps to control human behavior and emotions. It is made up of a central core of structure which is called the limbic lobe. This lobe consists of the following: subcallosal gyrus, cingulate gyrus, para-hippocampal gyrus, and hippocampal formation. Cortical contribution to the limbic system as follows. Aside from the limbic lobe, the following structures are associated with the limbic system: temporal cortex, prefrontal lobe, insular lobe, and orbital gyrus. But the limbic lobe is also supported by other structures in the brain, forming what is called the mesolimbic system because of the involvement of the mesencephalon. It is sometimes called the septo-hypothalamo-mesencephalic continuum. Other parts of the cortex which are in the limbic system are sometimes called the juxtalo-cortex. The basal ganglia structures are also involved in emotion and are therefore part of the limbic system. The diencephalic structures include the thalamus, hypothalamus, and subthalamus. The thalamus provides pain and possibly pleasure centers. The hypothalamus is the center for endocrine emotional activation, for it seems to have a direct continuity with the visceroendocrine periphery. The midbrain is believed to take part in the limbic system through its reticular formation, especially the extension of the nucleus tegmenti pedunculopunctinus, the visceroendocrine periphery. Emotional mechanisms must be accompanied by activation of the visceroendocrine periphery, such as lacrimation, laughter, crying, wailing, moaning, gnashing, and all other factors associated with emotions. They must be activated by certain centers. These appear to be autonomous and therefore may have something to do with the autonomic nervous system. Hence, the mesolimbic system seems to have a receptor mechanism and an effector mechanism. It has been postulated that there is very little connection from the cortex to the limbic system, so that the limbic system has very little control from the cortex. Even though this control is little, the cortex still maintains some amount of control over the instinctual mechanisms of the limbic system. So the human brain, the cortex, learns all life. The human brain learns to do what it is right or what he believes is right to do, rather than what he thinks he wants to do. But in mental illness, it is postulated that the little connection between the cortex and the limbic system is completely cut off, so that the limbic system now functions as if it were on its own. When information comes from the cortex, which is to be directed to the limbic system, the connection does not take place, and that information does not stimulate any of the centers, whether pleasure or pain centers in the limbic system. Hence, the mentally ill can have spontaneous discharge of the limbic system structures, either pain or pleasure. In the case of pain, depressive illness occurs. In the case of pleasure, mania or hypomania may be the consequence.